2020. Come here, baby. Come here. Special guest star. Come on. Baby girl. Okay, so what have we learned in 2020? Well, damn, this is where it's at. The most important thing that I've come away with everything I've learned is that there is Agenda 21. And it's a real agenda that more like 100 and some odd countries signed into in 1992. And it's basically a globalization of the world. And it's going to be done in phases. And there's people that know about it, but they don't know everything. And so there's a lot of people supporting it because they don't understand what it is. And when you look at the long-term goal, that's when people wake up. So that's what this video is for, because the long-term goal of Agenda 21 is not good. It's basically an elimination of society as we know it. And right now we're in a certain phase where they're like inventorying and they're getting everything in control and everyone in control. And the plan is basically to reduce population and to get everybody connected to AI. So it's a transhuman agenda. It's a non-human agenda. It's basically putting humans in a lockdown agenda that involves artificial intelligence, robots, surveillance, AI, mandatory vaccination. You have to like basically just stop being human. And this is the agenda that the UN has. This is why President Trump pulled us out of the UN and why he's done so many things that the left and the New World Order are like twisting to make it seem bad, but he's actually helping Americans and he's helping the world, and other people want that. There's a lot of us that don't want globalism. Actually, most people don't want globalism, except for the few people that stand to be like psychotically rich. I think the rest of us just want to live with our families and enjoy life and other things, be free on this land to like drink water and eat food and grow food and not be poisoned and not be brainwashed and not be jailed for speaking truth, you know, simple stuff like that. So basically it's a plan, it's an agenda that they started they initiated in 1992, and now we're in certain phases of collapsing the economy and getting control of people's minds and bodies. And basically they're reworking not only like the economy, but they're also reworking the human mind and the human behavior and the human genes. They're trying to change people into like drone type people. And so that they can really keep the peasants in their place, and then they can be on their high pedestals really safely. That's what their goal is for the globalists. Because there's only like thousands of them, where there's billions of us. So they want to get rid of a lot of us and then put us into smart cities. And it's just all artificially created. And when I do my, speaking to God, spiritual research as well, what the universe tells me is that they're here to help us, that this is not going to happen, that there will be interventions from the cosmos. And from what I learned, it's all going to come together. So generally I'm pretty happy because I think that this is just what's needed. I don't feel like there is like there's no like huge war in the world or in the galaxy. There's nothing really to be afraid of that's bigger than our Earth experience. This Earth experience is kind of gnarly right now, but we can wake up and overpower the evil on Earth, and that's kind of all it is. We just have to wake up and realize that we live in a whole galaxy, that this little tiny place on Earth is trying to be taken over. And actually that's another thing that I got in some of my like psychic downloads, is that one of the reasons why they're trying to like block out the sun and do all these things, you cool baby, is because it actually prevents spiritual guidance, because Spirit's been trying to wake people up. Spirit woke me up, and there's a lot of like help coming to the earth, and so the evil powers on the earth want to block that, because there are extraterrestrials. So this is what I was going to say. So basically it's all coming together, because Spirit's coming together with the world. And this is how it's supposed to play out for the next 30 years, because they want the Agenda 21 to be done by Agenda 50. They want the whole world reorganized into a global society with global citizens, like robots. No freedom. You can't own free land. Like, you're not going to be able, they have to get everybody in major control. So what they're going to do over the next 30 years is they're going to use these like kind of pandemic things, make people afraid of the air, make people afraid of each other. And that's all the brainwashing and the conditioning to make people like, you know, not human anymore. They're like animals protecting themselves. They're like messing with their psyches, and they're ruining the economy so that everybody gets dependent on the state. Everybody then has to obey. There's going to be a lot of people that die. That's what they want. They want a lot of people dying. They don't want people happy and vibrant and living and producing and all that stuff. They're trying to shut down the earth to control it. And so they're using the viruses, they're using all this false information, and then they're also going to use, well, they're already using global warming, and that's going to just increase. And then it could get to the point where they even use like alien invasion, because we have had aliens, and they do find their planes or flying saucers or whatever, and the Americans and the humans, they've used that, so they've learned about it through keeping it from us, and now they can kind of use it against us. And so it's like, what I'm psychically downloading basically is that there is a knowing in the universe that all of the heavens, all of the spirits, all of the energy is for the human spirit right now. Like, we're completely supported. And there's an element of humanity that's trying to get rid of that spiritual support, shut up the spiritual support, because they're not afraid. They don't believe in God. They don't, they know things are energy. They're smart. And so they're trying to control the whole earth because they're psychotic like that. And then they're also trying to control the people. So they're having like a dual battle, and us people are like waking up and trying to get that information and fight these people off of us. So that's what we're going to be dealing with for a couple decades, until everybody realizes that we don't have to deal with this, that their agenda is not going to pass, that this is not what the people want. It's not good for the human soul. It's not good for the human psyche. It's not good for life or love or light or anything. And so it's going to be an involvement. It's going to be a transformation. The earth is transforming. Humanity is transforming. And there's these evil, energies that are like kind of pushing us to that point. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't evolve. And so there we have it. This is just kind of rebirthing a new humanity. And we're all going to wake up to this Agenda 21. This Agenda 21 is real. It's written down. It's not even questionable. I will obviously put a link. So people just need to wake up and realize, like, you can't just watch your TV and think everything's funny and cute and go for your little pandemic and racist arguments while they're completely restructuring humanity. Because next thing you know, it's like you're all like, it's like we're on Pinocchio Island. Like, next thing you know, everyone's like, "Whoa, it's so much fun, everything's so great, wee!" And then bang, all of a sudden you're like an ass and you're like in chains. So that's really what they want for the world. It's no joke. So that's basically, I think, the most important thing I've learned in the last 7 months, 8 months, 10 months now, I guess. I mean, obviously the devil worshiping and the corruption and all of that was hard. The devil worshiping was hard. The eugenics program was probably the worst thing to have to learn about. That and the devil worshiping. The devil worshiping is what drives this horrible like mechanism on the earth that's trying to, this energy that wants to take us over. It is of the dark side. And so this devil worshiping is feeding it. So we're going to have to get rid of that. But getting rid of the devil worshiping isn't going to be the end all, because there's still an agenda. We have to understand how they relate and what the plan is for us, and it's real for the next 30 years. They have a plan to completely restructure us and change everything about the world. And so as long as we can recognize it and understand, like, oh no, that's not real, I'm not going to submit. And you're going to find that in these pandemics, in these health scares, in these global warming scares, in these environmental scares, and they could even go to the point where, because they're willing to do anything, you know, and they're preying on people's ignorance, and they're keeping people ignorant just as much as they do, like in North Korea. Like in North Korea, they don't teach them anything. China is, right now, YouTube is banned in China. Like in these countries, they don't want free thinking people. They don't want big, open-hearted people. Did you know that China actually kidnapped the future Dalai Lama? Like right now we have the Dalai Lama, but I think he's already, you know, been corrupted. I'm not sure where he's at right now. But obviously China has been working to ruin Buddhism, which is compassion. They actually kidnapped the future Dalai Lama when he was a little boy and prevented him from being trained to be the next Dalai Lama. So the Dalai Lama right now is like the last Dalai Lama that will be recognized within that system. We're going to have a whole new world system. Everything's fine. But I'm just letting you know that there's a real plan that's been happening for decades to change the way people think. Like there are Christian persecutions happening right now. Like there is an evil in the world that is not wanting people to be connected to that spiritual truth, because then they can't be controlled. So that's the battle right now. And so it is coming together with spirituality, and it's all coming together. But specifically, you need to understand whether, you know, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, you need to actually understand that there is something called Agenda 21, and it is real, and it is going to affect this whole entire planet. It doesn't matter what your religion is at all. So yeah, Agenda 21, that's the thing. Look it up. Look at the links down here. I found a really good link that is just, I think, a perfect explanation of what it is. So finally I can do this video because I've done a lot of research. But you know, it's hard to share a video that's like 3 hours long and expect people to watch it. So I'm luckily able to share one on Agenda 21 right now that is just 30 minutes long, and it's really good. So yeah, that's the goal. Let everybody know there is an agenda to reduce population and to reorganize society into a controlled robotic system, and God's against it. God is against it. All of life is against it. So we're going to rise up, and it's just going to be a wild ride. And so what we're going to look for are the signs, and that way we will know what to reject and what to accept. And yeah, I think I'm actually going to look into Revelations a little bit right now and try to do some comparative studies there too, because I believe that there is parts of that. But I don't believe in you know, the end of civilization right now at all. I'm not in that type of fear. I know that we're going to have life on Earth until the sun becomes a red giant and burns up this whole solar system. And so from now until then, we're evolving as humans on this Earth, spiritually and mentally, and we're basically evolving into, we're like I said in the last video, we're leaving that peasant ruler dynamic, that mentality, and then we're just going to realize that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and all this control mechanism that they've been doing on us isn't going to work anymore. It's actually, we're going to like laugh at it in the future. It's like, God, I can't believe we used to fall for this. It's like, I can't think of an experience where I have fallen for it in this life, but I can imagine, you know, you just being completely bullied and abused and not realizing that you don't have to put up with that. Like, luckily I came in with that information in this lifetime. I pretty much reject it all the time, and it's everywhere. There's a lot of abuse in this world right now. It's abusive to censor people. It's abusive to lie to people. It's abusive to brainwash people. And that doesn't even get into the physical abuse that's happening, and the violence and just the extremity right now. So we're gonna have to live that all out, guys. and it's going to be rough, but it's also not going to be rough. I think that it's like when you watch somebody else get hurt, it's always like, oh my God, that looks awful. But when it's actually happening to you, it's like, okay, we can handle this. And I think that's what it is. I think that we are going through the revelation times, and that we are going to be moving into this world where we are free and we are living with God, because we are living with ourselves. We're living with the freedom of our energy and of our lives. And that's what this time is about. And I don't really know, when we're going to celebrate. All I know that I want to get across is that there is an Agenda 21, and they're implementing it right now. And the plan that they have to implement, they want to have done by 2050. So you guys look into it and understand what we're up against, because it's not fun. It's not fun, and it's not funny. And right now, the entire political system is the tool to implement. So anybody that is able to support the globalists, anybody that is able to support medical tyranny, enforcing medical mandates on everybody, like all that stuff is part of Agenda 21 and the New World Order, and you have to reject it all. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. If anyone is supporting 5G and just enforcing anything upon us that isn't completely pure and natural, it's Agenda 21. It's been going on for so long, 100 years. We have been being taken over by technology and power and greed, and it's been more than 100 years, but you get what I'm saying. And so luckily it wasn't that long until we are getting rid of it, and that's what it's about. The more they try to push their agenda, the more we're going to reject it. So it's like we're having the clash of the titans over the next, I don't know how long, but all I know is they have an agenda, and until we squash it, they're going to keep coming at us at every single angle. And so far I know that they're going to be using COVID, global warming, who knows? I mean, any kind of scare tactics that you'll see in the mainstream media, and anything that, it's funny too, because they'll create the problem, and then their solution actually is a horrible solution. It's like, we have global warming, let's put you all on AI lockdown. Well, why didn't we just grow hemp? Why didn't we just do things that were not polluting, not producing waste? So we're gonna get there. The sleeping giants are awakening. So good morning. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Fully yoked. You guys get my little program that'll help wake you up too, to just a whole different reality that we're living in. It's not this peasant, obedient crap we've been dealing with. It's crazy. It's like the pimple has popped. 2020. Stop Agenda 21. It's a transhuman agenda for the 21st century to lock everybody up, put them in chains. They've been trying to figure out for a long time how to do it. And then as the technology has evolved, they've kind of, used the technology to their advantage. And it also includes Tesla's technology, any alien technology that they found. They have a plan. And they've been working on it for a long time, and they haven't told us all the details, but we know a lot. Because just like Santa Claus, you think that the whole world can't be in on a lie? There's a lot of people that will be in on the lie, because they don't understand the complications of it. Obviously, Santa Claus, I don't know. I personally don't even like that lie, because where did it come from? What's the point exactly? What is it today? It's shopping season, so just breaking through all these little time narratives and moving into just living on this earth and enjoying our lives in freedom with no more chains, no more authority, just leadership and just organization and just community and just harmony and peace. That's actually what we're going to be living in the future. May it be in this body or our descendants, but that is going to be the evolution of this earth. So that's what's happening right now. So I hope people aren't afraid. Learn some stuff, people. The germ theory, not true. Don't be afraid of the air, guys. Don't be afraid of all the stuff that they want you to be afraid of, and look at their solutions for the fear they place on you. Oh gosh, we're having the flu, let's ruin the economy. How is that helping people? So think, guys. There's an agenda. Agenda 21. Look into it. Baby girl, baby girl. How cute is my little doggy? Say hi. Say hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm the cutest doggy in the world. Agenda 21's coming to get you. I'm just kidding. Stop Agenda 21.